Hey yo, this is your boy, the Solo Traveler ORD, back again with another video. I'm here with my boy Rob. I actually want to do a quick interview with him. He's actually a great brother. I've actually met him a couple of times. I actually seen him out. I met with him in Cartagena, out here in Medellin, and in other places. Brother with a wealth of knowledge for the travel game, and I definitely wanted to get this interview with him. I'm happy that he took some time out to do this with me. So without any further ado.
Once again, your name Rob. Some guys from some of the WhatsApp groups might know me as Just Slay. But however which way you know me, feel free to greet me in that manner. But a little about me, live in Philadelphia, live pretty much different cities in the US. Been traveling for about, I would say, since 2016, international traveling. And that's something I love to do. I love to travel, 6 to 9 times a year, and tell my stories on places I've been to.
All right, nice. And also, I know that you got a YouTube channel. Tell us a little bit about your channel, your platform that you have.
So the YouTube channel is geared towards me, talking about my experiences, trying to give brothers game, information. I don't consider myself a content creator. I consider myself a storyteller. So I like to just go into depth and just be kind of like an open book for brothers.
Nice. I like that. So with that being said, I know that you basically said that you've been traveling since 2016. Was that the first time you started traveling internationally, or have you done regular domestic traveling?
I've done domestic traveling, for a long time before 2016. But 2016 was my first international trip, which was in Belize.
Nice. So with Belize, what's your take on Belize? Being there, like, did you enjoy it, or what are some of the cultural things that you could tell us about Belize?
So Belize, I went in there open-minded. It was my first international trip. I wanted to play it safe. I wanted a place where they spoke English, but I didn't want to go to the typical Caribbean, island. So Belize was the first. I felt like it was the first step for me. I went with one of my homies, and it ended up looking more suited for couples. But it was beautiful. It was a good vacation. Definitely a place where a lot of places don't have internet, which is purposely because they want you to enjoy yourself and not be on your phone and stuff like that. The water is beautiful, and there's things to do.
With that being said, as far as, since you went to Belize, what are some of the places that you actually went to, other international destinations?
So outside of Belize, I think my second international trip was Brazil, actually. I went there the same year. And my first experience in Brazil was the bomb. And then from Brazil, I started going to DR, and then went from DR to Colombia. And then the most recent countries I've been to was Thailand and the Philippines.
Nice, I like that resume. Which countries are your favorite to go to?
So right now, my favorite countries is Colombia and Thailand. I would say I want to visit Thailand again. That's where I had the most fun. But I come to Colombia a lot because, it feels like home. It's close, and it's a place I can actually see myself living. But Thailand, I would say I had the most fun so far on the trip.
Nice. See, myself, I need to go to Thailand. That's on my bucket list. I've been waiting to go there. I was supposed to go there this year, 2020, but of course, COVID hit, so that kind of messed up my plan. So I'm looking for 2021. Maybe it might be 2022 for me to go to Asia due to COVID. So we'll see how that whole thing works itself out for me. But since we're in Colombia, what made you want to come to Colombia?
Man, so what happened was that Brazil was cool. Then experienced the DR, and I kind of seen like some people like to say the fuckery that exists in DR. I mean, there's good and bad, but there was just a lot of it was just a lot of good trips and a lot of bad trips, and I was just like, okay, it gotta, I need to see what's more out there before I just fall in love with a country. So I started doing my research on like the African diaspora and seeing which companies had the most black slaves and things like that, because I wanted to be somewhere where where the women had Afro DNA. So Colombia was like the fourth country that had like the most slaves or whatever like that. So I was like, let me check out Colombia. And so I went to Colombia. A lot of people was saying go to Medellin. A lot of people wasn't really advocating Cartagena that much. They was like, and then I ended up going to Cali because statistically I seen that they said that's a lot of Afro-Colombian presence. So I went to Cali for the first time, and I could go into that first trip and things like that. If you want me to.
Yeah, go ahead. Like tell us a little bit about that trip of when you're in Cali and basically all your experience, because I think that's vital. Because one thing I want to state that this guy here, he's definitely a great person with wealth of knowledge. If you ever get a chance to talk to him, definitely get a chance to talk to him, because this guy, he has a lot of knowledge as far as traveling. I couldn't wait to do this interview with him, because I know that he definitely would give out a lot of good things for all you guys out there. But yeah, go ahead, please do.
Most definitely, man. So when I went to Cali, man, my expectations was high. I had some homies with me, and they really wasn't impressed because it's not really a tourist city. We hit up some clubs, some strip clubs and things like that, and it was okay. And then like pretty much like after day one, fellas was like, man, we need to hit up another city, man. Let's go to Medellin. So I was like, I wanted to give Cali, a couple more, let's give it a day or two, but they was ready to switch it up. So I was like, all right, let's go to Medellin. So when we went to Medellin, stuff was popping immediately. We was in the tourist area, Poblado, Park Lejeres, my homies, they, they doing what they do and they having a ball. So I'm just like, okay, that's cool. So, it ended up being a good trip, because if we would have stayed in Cali for most of them, they probably wouldn't have enjoyed it because it's not touristy and it just doesn't have the flair like Medellin does. I felt like Medellin was like a Vegas when we first went there, and going up to Santa Fe Mall and seeing the casinos and everything was beautiful. So it was a good experience. So that was my first time in Colombia. Then when I went back, I went to Cartagena and I had a ball. And I was like, man, guys was saying all these negatives about Cartagena. I said, they must not be doing Cartagena right, because when I went to Cartagena, that made Cartagena my favorite city.
Nice. So what are your pros and cons between all three cities of Cali, Medellin, as well as Cartagena?
So I would say Cali is the weather-wise is hot. Cartagena is hot too. Cali has a lot of rain too, so so you have to deal with spurts of rain off and on, but it's a hotter climate. And then also your vacation has to be more of like one to chill, you're not really into the tourist things like that, and that you have to have time. I wouldn't, people that love Cali, they usually stay there for a nice amount of time, and they have time to get to know locals and things like that. Guys that want quick and easy, tend to prefer Medellin or even Cartagena on certain things. I would say Medellin is cool. The climate is almost perfect. It does rain. It is parts of the year where it rains like off and on and things like that.
And currently we're actually in the rainy season right now in December, so it's basically been raining every other day, if I'm not mistaken.
It rains every other day. Which is not a deal breaker. I think for me, obviously the women here are beautiful. I mean, I would say some of the most beautiful women in Colombia live in Medellin. However, if you're a guy that likes to see more Afro DNA women, there's not going to be as many in Medellin as there will in Cartagena. So I love Cartagena because I love the Afrocentric. I can see people on all parts of the city, like, you know, dark, melanated. And that's just what I like. You know, that's what I got when I went to DR. More melanated people. And Cartagena is like, from a complexion standpoint, it's like a smaller version of DR as far as like the shades of brown that you see in Cartagena. And then also you got the history, the slave, you know, the slave city and things like that. And the food is more Afro cooked and seasoned in Cartagena too.
Yeah, I could agree, definitely. Now that you brought up the whole situation about the women here in Colombia, now I gotta ask you, you know, because I know a lot of brothers, they want to know about the women in Colombia, and basically most of my followers, my subscribers, about 98% male. So they really would like to know exactly how are the women, what's your comparison between the cities that you actually dated in, and just give us some more information, details of that.
Okay. Well, let me say, man, I've been to 11 cities in Colombia. Trying to think, should I name them real quick? Cali, Bogota, Medellin, Cartagena, Turbo, Barranquilla, Santa Marta, Rio Hacha, Arpatado, and another city. I'll bring it up later. But as far as the women, okay, Bogota, you know, there is a lot of, I would say, average looking women. You know what I mean? Not ugly, but just average, you know. But there's a lot of single women. I would say that's a city, kind of like New York City, has a lot of single women. So from a dating aspect, I think that you will have a lot of options. Obviously, you have to have patience in Bogota because it's a spread out city and there's a lot of traffic. So just dating, you know, you're gonna be waiting 30 to 45 minutes to link up and things like that, and then also factor in their availability if they work a lot and stuff like that. So you're gonna have a lot of patience in Bogota, you know, if you're living there and you're dating. So in Medellin, you know, dating, I would say it would be a little tougher because you'll get a lot of different numbers, but you know they have a flake culture. And it's going to take for you conquering that woman to really get her to make you a priority. And then once again, you know, these women at work, they're working 6 days a week, usually off 1 day a week. And, you know, they have family, social life, and friends too. So, you know, it's going to take some time. And in my opinion, unless you get lucky, like my man's here, like I would say finding a girlfriend in Medellin is very difficult. I personally wouldn't advise it, you know, especially if you're not a person that are frequent here and not really trying to live here. I think it's difficult. I think it's difficult in Colombia in general to date. I mean, I've been in like 4 different relationships. I have one stable one now, and it's, you know, what I've learned is it's better to live here to find something than trying to find something online and a visit. I mean, I did it, you know, I went through the pain and headaches, but if I was to do it all over again, I would have just focused on vacationing and waited till I got permanent in Colombia to start looking, because then you have more options then, because they know you're there and things of that nature. But you know, beauty is in the eye of the beholder, so I won't say what is what, but I just say I prefer women on the coast because women on the coast are more melanated and you know, they have more Afrocentric features.
And one thing I also want to add is that when it comes down to dating, the first important thing is make sure you know Spanish. Spanish is a must. I know a lot of brothers come down here and what they'll do is they try to, you know, get a girl that if you're just only speaking English and stuff like that. That's not going to work here. You got to know the culture. You got to know Spanish. That's one of the biggest things you need to know when you come here. Secondly, one of the best ways to find a girl, if possible, if you know somebody that lives down here, and they will offer that woman to you. So those are some of the ways that you can try to find a good girl, one that's going to be true to you and sincere. That's one of the biggest things. Those are some of the biggest things I could definitely say, which is like, it's just hard. Like, there's so many women, but you know, it's just trying to make sure you get one that's serious. You know, that's going to take you serious, and that's the biggest question. Is she going to take you serious? Does she look at you just as a tourist that's just going to be here, fly by night? You know, so that's the most important factor.